Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome to another video. And I'm here to talk about a video game. I know I never do this anymore, and I've been doing more of these camera phone or phone camera. You know what I mean? These type of videos where I talk about movies and TV shows. And I thought, you know what? I want to talk about a video game. So there's not gonna be any gameplay in this. If you want some gameplay, look some up. If you haven't heard of it, this game I'm about to talk about, good. But if you haven't and you want to know about it, I'll tell you about it. Because I played a game called Crossfire X. I did a Gore Plays for the multiplayer like a week ago, maybe a week or two ago. And yeah. I just got done playing one of two campaigns developed by Remedy, the makers, of course, of Alan Wake and Control and Max Payne 1 and 2. Quantum Break. But this is one of those games where I was looking forward to it, but only half of it, because I played the multiplayer beta from 2 years ago. There was a multiplayer beta for this 2 years ago, and it was terrible. What I remember most is that it just felt wrong, like the controls and the gunplay, and it had some of the worst spawn points I've ever played. It was like you spawn and immediately there's like three guys there killing you. And it's just like, okay. I mean, this is a beta, I guess, but whatever. There was some neat ideas. I remember, like, there's a mode where you have to like become like a ghost or whatever. I'm not really like, yeah, you're a ghost and you have to kill everybody else without them finding you or something like that. It's kind of like, think like a almost like a predator mode or something like that, kind of. I thought that was a unique idea. Just the game itself, gameplay wise, was not good. So 2 years after that beta, the game is officially out. And I can tell you right now, I didn't play a lot of the multiplayer, but I did play a good amount of the campaign because I did finish the first campaign. There's a second campaign. The first campaign is called Operation Catalyst. The second campaign is called I Don't Give a Shit because I ain't playing it. I think it's also not available on Game Pass. At least I tried to download it and it wouldn't let me. So I'm assuming that one's not available on Game Pass, or maybe I have some sort of glitch or something. Wouldn't be surprising considering this game has had tons of glitches already. Oh boy, has it. Yeah, so I played the campaign. I cannot believe this is Remedy. Remedy was the only reason why I was actually kind of looking forward to this, because Remedy, quality game studio, love their games for the most part. Even Quantum Break, which is probably their weakest thing until this, I still liked. I actually did. I liked the characters. I liked the gunplay. I thought it was really good. I liked all the time powers. The graphics for the time looked amazing. I really enjoyed it. Control, loved it. One of my favorite games of that year. I can't wait for Alan Wake 2. Loved Alan Wake 1. One of my favorite horror games ever. So, and Max Payne 1 and 2, I can't say enough good things about those two games. Those games are amazing. So, I was hopeful that the campaign would be good. The campaign, I cannot believe this was made by Remedy. It is the most generic fucking thing you've ever played. It is so generic. I'm getting so upset. I'm shaking the camera too much. I really need to find a place to park this camera while I'm talking. Here, this is good. It's a little darker on this side of my face, but whatever. It is generic beyond acceptability, honestly. It is. I've played worse games, but have had better times than I have with this campaign, where this campaign is literally just shoot a bunch of guys, here's a bunch of guys, here's a bunch of guys, shoot them, go, shoot. Here's a 5-second segment where you control like a turret. Oh, here's a 5-second moment where you're playing as a sniper. All right, that's all. That is literally all of your variety in this game. It is all just run, shoot. Enemy spawn in, shoot them. Enemy spawn in, shoot them. And that wouldn't be that big of a deal if the gunplay was better and if it was, from a lesser studio. You expect way more from Remedy. Way more. And I expect way better when it comes to gameplay from Remedy. And both of these things are fucking completely done wrong. Also, the story is nonsense bullshit. Now, maybe it make a little bit more sense if I played the second campaign, but fuck that. I played the first one. I'm not forcing myself to play another one, especially since I think I need to pay for that one. Are you fucking high? I'm not doing it. Fuck you. Hell no. Go to hell. I'm not giving you money. Fuck you. Especially with your multiplayer bullshit, which is terrible and has so many microtransactions. Are you fucking kidding me? This game barely works and you want us to give you money? Fuck you. You're lucky I even downloaded the motherfucker. So, This is what just a fucking turd. Okay, it's so bad. The multiplayer is bad too, but I'm not even really gonna comment on it because I haven't played enough. I did play the classic mode a lot, the team deathmatch, which admittedly is terrible. It's so bad. You can watch my gore plays. I was just like, wow, this is terrible. The controls are terrible. The weapon handling, the graphics, the just the animations, just pretty much everything in that is terrible. But I was having a good time in spite itself because it was so bad. It was like kind of like it was enjoyable in a weird way. I don't know why. So honestly, I probably like the multiplayer more than I like the campaign. And technically, the campaign is better, like on a technical standpoint, because graphically, the campaign graphics are a little bit better. There are a couple moments where it does feel like Remedy had an actual hand in the development. They did develop the campaign, but it doesn't feel like they did, except for about 10 minutes of the game where you're in these weird dream sequence modes, and it almost feels like some shit they cut out of control where it gets really trippy and weird and environments like contorting and stuff. So that was neat, but those are like segments where nothing's happening. You're just literally walking around while the environment's being weird. That's the only part I would say is unique, and you're not doing anything in it. Every other part of the game is just like, get to that point and you're just running. You can literally run through most of the game and not worry about like shooting enemies and stuff. Like, you do eventually have to kill the enemies, but you can walk through most of the environments without worrying too much about anything. It is beyond generic. It really is. It is abysmally generic. Like, a game can be so generic that it's worse than actual bad games. I do truly believe that, because if you're not even putting any effort into it, then what the fuck? And Remedy, of all studios, they gave it to the Z team, because this shit is unacceptable. By the way, the campaign I played, 3 hours long. I heard the other campaigns about the same length. So combining both campaigns, you get a 6-hour campaign. You're spending, if you don't have Game Pass and you don't get at least one of the campaigns for free, I think you're spending like $20 on 6 hours of campaign, and it's the most generic shit. Just play any Call of Duty game. You'll get a better story. You'll get most likely better characters, because the characters here suck and they're all telegraphed and they're all lame. You got the funny guy, you got the serious sniper guy, you got your main character who's generic as fuck. All of them are generic, but you have like the stock characters. This character is acting weird. Obviously, he's gonna betray you at one point. When that happened, I was like, no way! I would never predict that. Yeah, you have like the villain who's just a villain, like, yeah, I'm a villain, yeah. And then another villain shows up and you're like, I'm a villain. I'm like, it's so terrible. And it just jumps you in with almost no relevance. I'm assuming this is for people that are really into the Crossfire universe, but they don't really give you a good idea of what to do here. And I think you're supposed to play this campaign before you play the other one. At least that's what it looked like, because even on the front page, this is the first one it shows before it shows the other campaign. So it's bad. It really, I'm not kidding. It really is bad. Also, no achievements for the campaign. They didn't give a fuck. They were like, no campaign achievements, only multiplayer. Obvious they want you to play that multiplayer, which is weird because the trailer, I mean, the multiplayer is, all the achievements are really easy to get. Like, I almost have all the achievements already, and I've played maybe 2-3 hours of it. Anyway, it's a really shit game. It's so bad. It's a complete waste of Remedy's talents, and I hope this wasn't the reason why we didn't get like more stuff for Control, or why we have to wait until next year for Alan Wake. Or like, I hope that's not the case, because it was not fucking worth it. This is a terrible game, and Microsoft, if they were smart, they would take their name off this, like, completely. Xbox Game Studios being attached to this is embarrassing. This is easily the worst game I played this year, but that's not saying much. It's the worst game I played last year too. Like, and I already did a series where I played a few really terrible games, and I honestly think this is the worst game I've played in the last couple years. It is terrible. The regular multiplayer, by the way, I didn't even talk about this, and you can see in my gore plays, the modern version of the multiplayer, which is kind of like a Counter-Strike, like a fake Counter-Strike, had a glitch for me where, like, you couldn't even hold down the sights for too long, like the aim down sights. You couldn't even do that without it like glitching and making it so you're not holding down the sights anymore. You can see it in my gore plays if you know what I'm talking about. And I played another game later and it did the same thing. So I don't know if that's a feature in the fucking game where you can't aim down the sights for too long, or the game will kick you out of that. I have no idea. I should play more. I honestly should play more of that modern mode, see if maybe they updated it. But just wanted to bring that up. It's terrible. Everything, just the gun handling. It doesn't feel good to shoot enemies too. And if you're making an FPS game, you need to make it so it's like, oh yeah, I shot that guy. It felt good. Woo! You don't feel that at all. You really don't. It's terrible. It's an awful game. If I had to give it a score as a complete package, I'd probably give it like a 2.5 out of 10. It's fucking terrible. It really is bad. And I cannot believe this got released like this. It should not have been released, period. Because it is fucking... Even if it like worked and was not, glitchy and a mess and just wasn't as generic, it'd still not be worth playing, really. Because there's just so many other better FPS games. Like, just say it was like generic but not like awfully so, it was like generic but like borderline still kind of like tolerable and fun, then I still wouldn't recommend it. There's too many FPS games for you to play this, honestly, especially on Game Pass. Fucking Halo Infinite just came out. Are you kidding? 2 months ago. And I know there's not a lot of content right now, but I assure you there's way more content than this, where the classic mode in this fucking Crossfire game has one map per mode. So you can play deathmatch, team deathmatch, but there's only one map. You can play like a control mode, but there's only one map for it. It's so bad. And they want you to give them money to buy shit? Go fuck yourself. Your spawn points are terrible, too. Like, the team deathmatch is so embarrassing. It's just like, you could literally spawn camp them. You can just stand outside and just kill... It's so bad. Oh my god. Holy shit. Good lord. You should be fucking ashamed of yourself. God damn. Anyway, Crossfire X, it's a fucking nightmare piece of shit. Maybe the second campaign's better. I'm not paying for it, though. Right now, it's telling me I have to pay for it. So if it's one of those things where it is a part of Game Pass, but it's glitching out like the first campaign was, because the first campaign wasn't on Game Pass for like a week. It was supposed to be, but it wasn't, because they can't even get that fucking right. Indie games get that right. They make sure their game is available on Game Pass when it's supposed to be. But not this fucking big Chinese corporation. This is a game from China that's huge over there, by the way. It's like a remaster, remade version. This is oh my god. I don't even want to see the original game. Oh my god. I don't even want to think about it. Anyway, that's it. Bye. It sucks. It's fucking terrible. Holy shit.